how integrated do you feel if you've arrived here from another country, or your dad and mum are from other countries or whatever? How integrated do you feel? I sense, indeed, can I say, I fear that in parts of London and parts of a city I know very well, Leicester, and parts of a city I don't know very well, but I've read about, Bradford, I wonder if the integration is as good as it might be. Could we even mention things such as no-go areas? But you know where that gets us. So what are we to make of the soaring immigration levels that have made it impossible for people to integrate into British society? So says a former Home Office minister. Now, these comments are from Robert Jenrick. Now, were partially in response to remarks made by the Prime Minister, who gave a statement on Downing Street on Friday to declare the UK was under the threat of extremism and that democracy was at risk. Here's a little of what he said.
We are a country where we love our neighbours and we are building Britain together. But I fear that our great achievement in building the world's most successful multi-ethnic, multi-faith democracy is being deliberately undermined. There are forces here at home trying to tear us apart. Since October the 7th, there have been those trying to take advantage of the very human angst that we all feel about the terrible suffering that war brings to the innocent, to women and children, to advance a divisive, hateful ideological agenda. On too many occasions recently, our streets have been hijacked by small groups who are hostile to our values and have no respect for our democratic traditions. Membership of our society is contingent on some simple things: that you abide by the rule of law, and that change can only come through the peaceful democratic process. Threats of violence and intimidation are alien to our way of doing things. They must be resisted at all times.
In an interview this weekend with Camilla Tominey from GB News, the former Immigration Minister Robert Jenrick says Rishi Sunak will never achieve his goals of integration and countering extremism if the current levels of immigration to the UK are allowed to continue.
You cannot resolve this problem and build a more united country, which is what the Prime Minister was calling for, a more cohesive country built around British values, unless you end this era of mass migration. We've been living in a time where up to 1 million people have arrived in our country every year, and it is impossible to successfully integrate so many people. The level of migration that we've experienced as a country over the last 30 years has been unprecedented, and that needs to change.
Richard's in Kinver, which I can tell you is in Staffordshire, joins me now. Richard, your take on what I've just spelt out. Good morning.
Hello, Nick. Are you all right?
I'm all right, yeah. Tell me what you make of this.
Good, yeah. Well, I share these concerns about people who don't integrate into our society.
Right.
There's people amongst us, they live parallel lives.
Yep. Tell me where you see this. Tell me what you see.
Most people live in separate healthcare, separate education, different social circles. I'm talking, of course, about the small proportion of people who go to exclusive private schools, like Rishi Sunak, a man who admitted he doesn't even know a single working-class person.
Oh, you're trying to be funny, are you?
I'm trying to point out the irony of this small group of people. Sorry, I'm walking to come a bit.
No, don't worry. No, as long as you're okay.
A small group of people, including Sunak, talk about people who don't integrate into society. They go to their own private hospitals, private education, top social jobs, and yet they're...
When was the...
They complain about other people who don't integrate.
Remind me there was the last time a threat of a terror attack from some private school pupils.
No, if it's a terror attack.
No, remind me the last time that they decided to do a protest around an MP's home and chanted and blew whistles until quite late at night. A bunch of private
Nick,
school pupils. No, I thought not. Remind me the last time that they talked about possibly trying to, storm Parliament or whatever it might have been. None of the above. I don't think you're comparing eggs with eggs.
I can tell you they've spent the last 14 years cutting social services, police, the armed forces,
it's a separate conversation.
Mental health services, education.
I see the point you're getting at, but what the Prime Minister was talking about on Friday was the issues of extremism, and what the paper was talking about yesterday, which I think is slightly more important than perhaps your assertion that the whole country's doomed because of private education, is that the terror threat is at the highest level since 9/11. Now, I might be wrong, but I don't think that's down to former pupils from Harrow, Eton and Dulwich College?
Well...
No, I didn't think so either. Hannah's in Ealing. Hannah, you're on the radio. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
So I'm an immigrant. I'm from Canada, and I'm with my friend Khadija. She's from Somalia.
Right.
I've been here 12 years. She's been here over 20. And one of the things, because we listen to you every morning,
Oh,
and
great.
one of the things we were talking about is, like, although both of us have been here so long, neither of us have any British friends. And it's not without trying. It's like they are very closed off. They don't let you into their social circles and stuff.
Right.
And, like, because even, like, I've worked pub jobs. Now I work in a school. I've worked all over London. And, like, they keep themselves to themselves. They might, like, go out for a drink with you after work, but that's as far as it goes.
What do you want them to do instead of go out for a drink with you after work?
No, what I mean is, like, it's a lot easier, with the whole, like, integration thing. It's been a lot easier for me to integrate with, like, other groups of immigrants.
Say I washed up in Toronto. What sort of welcome would I get with folk there?
This is the thing, though. You'd get a much more friendly welcome. Like,
tell me how that would work. So tell me how that would work. So I'm in Toronto, I go to work or I go to a bar. Tell me what happens next.
Yep. So as an example, like, I'm married to a North African, and the first time I took him to Canada, he was like, wow, everyone's so friendly, because we went to a bar, we started talking with, like, just a group of people, and then they were like, oh, why don't you come and sit with us? People are a lot more, like, welcoming and friendly, I find. When I came over to England, like, one of the biggest things is, like, people don't just welcome you. They don't just, like,
Right. I can hear your friend. May I have a word with her?
Yeah, can I pass her?
Yeah.
Hello, good morning, Nick Ferrari. This is Khadija. I've been listening to you for a long, long time.
Hello, Khadija.
So all I want to ask you is this. How do you want us to integrate?
How do I...
I'm going to... Yes, I want you to ask the Prime Minister, because I'm going to work. I'm paying my taxes.
Right.
I don't know what he means we need to integrate. I can go to the pub or wear a miniskirt. I'm still wearing my hijab because I'm a Muslim.
Right.
So what is it that he wants us to... I don't get it.
Well, the Prime Minister would want you to integrate. It's actually one of his colleagues who are saying that too many people have arrived here to make it possible to integrate. How do you respond to that, Khadija?
I think they're looking at the wrong thing. Some people not speaking English and not... I don't know how to express myself, but most people are working, paying their taxes, staying peaceful. There's minority who are maybe, causing trouble and doing all these things.
Right.
But it's not all. I just think they're just attacking Muslims, but they don't want to say it.
Well, I honestly don't think they are attacking Muslims, because when you hear this MP talk about other protests, such as the pro-Palestinian protest, and then when he mentions far-right protests as well, I don't think that speaks to Muslims, does it, Khadija?
Yeah. Yes, I think it is.
I don't think Muslims are far right, Khadija, are they? Do you think they are?
No. It's not all like they're just picking on immigrants that are not integrating. But most immigrants are hardworking. They might not speak perfect English, but I think they're working hard. They're putting food on their table. So they should just differentiate the criminals and immigrants who are doing like a really good job.
Okay. Do you feel welcomed?
I feel welcome. I that's why I'm asking you, how does he want me to integrate? I'm already doing my job. My kids are doing well. I'm going to work. I don't see any problem.
And I would think, were he here, I say again, the person we're talking about is a former minister. He's not the Prime Minister. I would imagine if we had Mr. Sunak, with Rishi Sunak here, he would say you're integrating just fine, and the fact that your children are hopefully getting on in school is exactly what we're after.